y'all. It's another Gettin Real with Ashleydawn. And today, I want to talk to you about preaching with makeup in your teeth. And I will tell you a fun little story that just happened to me. I was preaching and talking and encouraging. For those of you that know me, obviously that's my heart. That's why I have this channel. So I'm talking to this person and I'm just encouraging them and preaching and teaching and talking, and everything's wonderful and great. And then after all of that, she tells me, I'd get done, whatever. And she says, you got something in your teeth. Sure enough, it's this darn makeup that I'm wearing. It's this lipstick. The whole time I was talking, I had lipstick in my teeth. And you may say, oh, Ashleydawn, that's not big of a deal. Here's my point. All of us women got lipstick in our teeth. We all got something in our lives that we're not proud of, that we try to cover up, that we try to rub off, right? Like, let me get that off my teeth. We all have something that we're not proud of. None of us are perfect. And sometimes it makes people feel like you're a little bit more like them when they can see the makeup on your teeth, when they can see a stain in your outfit, when they can see a thorn in your flesh, right? Paul in the Bible talks about a thorn in his flesh. My daddy used to talk about it all the time, and he'd talk about the things that he had done wrong in his life and how he regretted it and how he felt, guilt for doing things that he did when he wasn't walking with God. And I used to tell him all the time, like, Daddy, the things that you think have disqualified you are actually proof that you're qualified. The things that you're so ashamed of and so, you feel like you've been called out and you feel like people have just counted you out, right? You feel like there's something wrong with you because of what you've done, where you've been, your past, things that you've seen, things that you've done. And God's like, oh no, I'm going to use all of that. I'm going to use all of that for my glory, for your good, for your story. And you're not only going to be blessed by it, but I'm going to use your life, your broken, messy, imperfect life, to show every person that is living, that is broken and has a messy life and imperfect, what I can do with a heart surrendered to me. Some of the times that I've preached or spoken or encouraged or taught or whatever you want to call it, lots of people call it different things. The people that come up to me after I speak and after I talk, the people that come up to my merch table, the people that will email me after, don't email me to talk about the pretty parts of my story. They don't come up and ask for me to pray with them when I talk about the pretty parts of my story. They don't ask for me to come speak at their churches for the pretty parts of my story. They ask for the ugly parts. They ask me to speak about the parts that make me cry, the parts that hurt, the parts that I'm still working through. That's where the gold is for them. Why? Why do they want to hear the sad stories, the stories that rip your heart out? Because those are the ones that are relatable. Life is hard, and things happen beyond our control. And sometimes it makes it a little easier when we know somebody is going through something similar and they have hope. It shows us that even though life is hard, we can have hope too. Last night, my friend was singing and speaking and sharing a little bit of his testimony, and he didn't even realize the lives that were in that room that were blessed by the things he was saying. He wasn't sharing the pretty parts. He was sharing the hard parts, the parts that hurt, right? I posted today to Instagram about a lemon. The value of a lemon is in what you squeeze out of it. The value of a lesson is in what you squeeze out of it. The value of a testimony is how you've been tested and you're still standing. People do not want to ain't perfect, and they know that that's a lie. People want to hear the truth. It says in the Bible that the truth will set you free. What does that mean? Well, it means that when you hear the truth, when you live in the truth, you are free. You're free. It's like when you believe a lie, you're bound by that lie. That lie is having control over you, right? I was scared of heights, so I said I'd never parasail. Well, I parasailed. I did that. That happened. And guess what? It was pretty awesome. But if I kept allowing that fear to stay up in my head, I wouldn't have had that experience. Some of you watching this have incredible testimonies that you won't share because you're scared of what people think. You're scared that people will judge you. You're scared that you're going to dishonor your family. You're scared that somebody is in your life and maybe isn't going to receive you the same way that you receive them, right? You're scared of that. And so you're quiet. So you don't share your testimony. So you just pretend like everything's perfect. Okay, story time. I did that. So for many of you that know, I was married. It was a crazy situation. I should just do a video about that because it was stinking crazy. But I got married to somebody that I really didn't know. I met them at church through their step grandparent, and there was lots of lies spoken. There were lots of things said that were not true that I believed and I trusted. And I trusted the people that were telling me. Anyway, so we get married, come to find out everything that I thought was a lie. He's living a double life, all of this. Well, did I share that? Of course not. On my Facebook, it looked like my life was perfect because I was so ashamed of what was happening in my life. I was so heartbroken because I had promised myself that I would never get a divorce and that I would wait to find the one that God had for me. And I believe that I ruined all of that. And so I believed the lies of the enemy. And I lived pretending that I wasn't walking through hell. I still preached. I still encouraged, even though I was broken and hurting and had to deal with somebody that was being used by Satan to verbally destroy me on a daily basis. You want to talk about something that's hard? Walk into your house and have your identity ripped apart on a daily basis over and over and over and over again. Listen to somebody tell you how you're not worth anything and come against every detail that God has placed within you. Listen to that every single day. And put a smile on your face and pray for them and love them through it. And then go and preach to everybody you meet. And then go and tell everybody you meet how loved they are and how special they are. When every single day you're listening to a person that promised to love you tell you how ugly you are, what a terrible person you are, that you need to change every detail about you. They don't like your curly hair. They don't like the sunflower you wear in your hair. You need to wear makeup all the time. They don't like you without makeup. They don't like you with cowboy boots. They don't like you wearing this, or they don't like you wearing this, and trying to change who you are. And then go preach and tell people to be who God created them to be. It's pretty hard, but I did it because I knew the calling on my life was greater than the circumstance of my life. Now, I'm not saying I did it all perfect. I should have been a little bit more honest and open. But at the time, I was hurting. And I didn't want to say anything that would dishonor the person who was hurting me. Not because he deserved honor, but because of the woman of God that I am. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. But do you know that even after I got a divorce, I walked around with so much shame, feeling less than, feeling like I had ruined my life because I had married somebody that didn't love me, because I had married somebody that didn't have integrity, because I had married somebody that had no idea what honesty was and how to be truthful and how to be a man of his word. We weren't raised the same. We weren't. We were two totally different people that had two totally different moral compasses. I would venture to say he didn't have one. That's a true story. But I look at that, and since then, that was, 7 years ago? Since then, most of the times that I have preached or spoken or encouraged women that have been abused, women that have been mistreated, women that have been cheated on, lied to, infidelity, whatever, they come up to me after and they all tell me the parts of my story that they found comfort in. And would you believe it? The places they found comfort in were the places I felt the most pain in. I've walked through a lot of pain. And it's so easy for people to say, oh, Ashleydawn, I want what you have. Oh, Ashleydawn, you love the Lord so much. Oh, Ashleydawn, you're such a good speaker. You have so much wisdom. People say, you're wise beyond your years. Yeah, that's because I've went through a lot in the few years that I've been living. I've experienced a lot of heartache. I've experienced a lot of hard time. Well, not like they say hard times in jail. I haven't gone to jail. But like hard times. Life not going good. Life not going the way that I thought it was going to be. My heart getting ripped out of my chest. I have. And normally the places that I've felt the most pain are the places where I have the most wisdom and where I've been able to comfort others. So maybe, just maybe, the stuff in your life that hurts you, the stuff in your life that you try to hide, maybe there's a purpose in it. And maybe that purpose is to show the love of Jesus to people that don't know what it looks like or what it feels like. I've had women come up to me after I've spoken. I've actually had men come up to me too, because their wives have cheated or whatever. And they've said that hearing me speak was like Jesus hugging their heart or hugging their soul. And I wish I could take credit for that. I wish I could say, oh yeah, it's all me. It's all me. Nope, none of it's me. None of it's me. It's all God. Because if He can use a broken vessel like me to encourage somebody, to make somebody else's life better, I can't get any of that credit because I'm broken. I'm not perfect. I try to do right and I try to follow the Lord, but I'm not perfect. I got makeup in my teeth. I got lipstick in my teeth. I got thorns in my flesh. I got scars. I got a big old scar on my forehead from when my head went through the windshield and I had 31 stitches. I almost went blind. A drunk driver hit our car and my head went through the windshield and got stuck and they had to cut me out of it. I got scars. I got a scar on my foot from when my dog was so excited that he clawed me. And honestly, that's my favorite scar that I have because it reminds me of my puppy, Chevrolet, that I no longer have. He's in heaven. He's the best dog ever. I have scars all over. I've got scars on my arm. I got scars where I got stabbed with a pencil in elementary school. I have scars on my toe where a piece of hair was wrapped around my toe in my onesie when I was a baby and almost cut my toe off. I've got scars. But guess what? Those scars are what people identify with most. So yeah, I may preach with lipstick in my teeth. And I may not talk the way that everybody else talks. And I may not have, tons and tons of degrees on my wall. But I can tell you some stories about how I walked through things that felt like my version of hell. And how Jesus held my hand through every single step. And I can tell you how Jesus has been faithful and how He will continue to be faithful. And I can't get the credit for it because that credit belongs to God. But I can tell you that the scars in your life that you try so hard to hide are going to be where your treasure is found. I know it sounds crazy. And, we ask all the time, like, God, take this away. When I was going through that nightmare of a marriage, it's not even a marriage. It cheapens the word marriage because it wasn't anything close to. But when I was going through that, I prayed every night, I prayed that God would kill me because I'm like, I can't do this. And I said, God, take this away from me. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I cannot go another day with this horrible person that's putting me down. He's mean, he's cruel, he's rude, He's doing all these things to all these different people. Like, please, God, take it away. Make him, like, just go away. But God didn't take it away. I dealt with it. We were separated. We got back together. We were separated. Got back together. Went to counseling. Whatever. And I'm not saying all this to put him down. I pray that God's doing awesome things in his life. He was a chapter in my book. That's all he was to me. And he's a child of God, that too. But all that to say, just like Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane prayed, Father, if there's another way, like, take this cup from me. Think about if God answered Jesus' prayer and took the cup away from him. We wouldn't have salvation. We wouldn't be going to heaven. So Jesus' greatest place of pain is our greatest place of comfort. And the things that we go through in life that we pray that God takes away from us, it's the same thing. Our greatest places of pain are other people's greatest places of comfort. God is using you. Why? Why would God use me? Well, 1, because he loves you. 2, because he has a purpose and a plan for your life. He's using you. As long as you surrender your heart and say, use me, Lord, every single day, he will. He is faithful. He'll use you with lipstick in your teeth. He'll use you when you're walking through your ugliest season in the world. He'll use you. If you every day surrender it to him, he will use it all. He's faithful. But don't shy away. Don't shy away from the painful places in your life. Press in to those places of pain, because they're going to bring comfort and healing to people in your life. I know you're thinking, Ashleydawn, I don't want to. It hurts. It hurts to press in. It hurts. It's worth it. I know it hurts. I've been there. I've cried out on my kitchen floor, screaming out for Jesus to help me. Miserable. Looking at my life thinking, I did everything right, God. I did everything your way. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this man doing these things to me? I've loved him. I've laid my life down for him. I've done all these things. I've honored you. Why is this happening? Maybe it's happening because God trusts you with his treasure. I look at, the story of Job, and God is talking to Satan, and he says, have you considered my servant Job? He's faithful. God allowed Job to go through all of that testing and trying because God trusted Job with the treasure. God is trusting you with the treasure in your life because he knows that you'll share it with others. Will you share your treasure with others? Will you share your scars with others? Will you share your pain with others? Will you do that? Or will you keep it all to yourself and pretend like you just have everything all figured out and life is perfect and you don't struggle and your life is great? Or will you share the painful places and trust that God will use it to help somebody else? It's a choice only you can make. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what I've done. I've lived through a lot of things. Sometimes I wish I didn't have to. But when I speak or I teach or I encourage someone and they tell me that seeing my scars let them know that theirs were okay, let them know that they weren't alone, let them know that God is faithful, makes all the difference in the world. You could be the reason somebody holds on. You can. I just encourage you, don't be afraid to show your scars. Don't be afraid to speak about the brokenness that you're walking through, because ears are listening and they need a word from the Lord. Will you be that word? Will you be that reminder that God loves them? Will you be that arrow that points them to Jesus? It's your choice. I'm going to choose to be an arrow. I encourage you to choose to be an arrow too. I love y'all. You are seen, you are heard, you are celebrated, and you are loved. And God has awesome, awesome plans for you. Don't be afraid of your scars. When I was in pageants, I was so afraid of my scars. I was actually afraid of my tattoo too. And I would cover it up with makeup. And I would cover my scars up with makeup. And then I started asking myself, why am I doing this? Because I want to impress somebody? I am who I am. God created me. And if somebody don't like it, they need to take it up with God. I didn't make myself. It's not my fault I am this way. It's God's. And so if you don't like it, talk to God about it. Don't talk to me about it. I don't have a say-so. I don't. These scars are proof that I survived something. Your scars are proof that you survived something. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's worth celebrating. Share your scars. Share your survival story, because it just may encourage somebody else to survive their own. I love y'all, and I will catch you in my next one. If you have any requests, drop them down below. Love y'all. Bye.